Hello and welcome to another edition of Active Living. We're here today with Becky Osborne. Becky is the heart and soul of Holy Spokes. It's a new company. I shouldn't say new, I guess you've been around for a while, here in Lake Orion that does a lot of charitable events. So, Becky, welcome to our show.
Thanks, George. I really appreciate it, and thanks to On TV for having us today. And yes, Holy Spokes isn't super new. We've been around since May of 2017, and we started to try to pull bicycles off of the routes to the landfill and to get them into the hands of people that could use them. We are a 501c3. We did start up from our home and started collecting bicycles.
So your home filled up with bicycles
and
you decided it was time to move,
very,
right?
very quickly. So we did then talk to the schools, and we do have a space at the Weber Elementary parking lot in the bottom of what used to be Moose Tree, the Nature Center.
Oh, nice. It makes I just had a chance to visit there the other day, and it's really a great location for you guys.
Thank you. Yes, we couldn't have asked for a better place. It's very well contained. It's, in the summertime opens up to the woods, and we don't have too many animal friends that come by, but there's a few that come by and have lots of nice space and a nice cool space in the summertime. So that works out good, and a good space for the people to come and help us out.
Well, tell me about Holy Spokes. Why did you guys come up with this concept of fixing bikes?
Well, the story isn't super short, but I'll try to make it as short as I can. My husband grew up in the Lake Orion area, and they didn't have a lot of money. And so his mom would go to the local auction area, and she would get pieces and parts from them and bring them home. And Ken, my husband, would fix up bikes and have a bike so that he could ride with his friends and get out and kind of have that freedom to be out.
Right.
And as the years went by, he went into the military and ended up in Germany and fell in love with mountain biking there. So he came back from there, and we were married, and we had some children and all that kind of good stuff, and still did some biking until we had our children, and then we started getting them into riding their bikes. And as the years went by, we just felt compelled that if there was bikes out that we would try to grab them, and my husband would fix them up with our son and kind of Frankenstein them together if we needed to, and then we'd donate them out to groups that we knew that donated to people that in need. And in 2017, my husband said, I think we can do something more. I have it on my heart to help more people, and I think that this would be a good way to start. And so he said, I think you should, we should start still filling out paperwork, which means that I should start filling out some paperwork.
Yeah, you can do it.
That's right. So we, went through everything about how we wanted to do things and how we thought, things could best work. And so we did fill out paperwork, and I thought, it'll, take some time, and I'm sure we'll have some time to figure it all out. And within about a month and a half, we had everything from the state and everything from the IRS, and we had our 501c3 all ready to go. So
that's amazing. Wow.
They went quick, and so then we had to figure out what we were doing, and we kind of went from there. But that's kind of how it all started.
So now you've got this corporation, but really kind of a nonprofit corporation.
Correct.
That you put together, and now you need to figure out what you're going to actually do with all of these bikes and where they're going to go, where you're going to get them, and all this type of stuff. So if I owned a bike that I kind of didn't want to use anymore, or I upgraded my bike, what would I do with that bike?
So we do take donations of bikes, any shape, size, condition. So we do get some that are, that they've had a really good life.
Oh, really?
By the time they get to us. So bikes can be donated either at our shop at the Moose Tree building there in the Weber Elementary parking lot, or at Main Street Bicycles on M24.
Okay, so they take
during
them
their
too.
business hours. So they take them too. They'll store them for us until we can come and get them, or kind of go from there. And then we pretty much we can meet up to do that. Bikes can be dropped off. We do have a couple of bike racks on the upper level at Moose Tree there that the bikes can be dropped off if they don't need a donation receipt. But of course, we're happy to meet and get donation receipts and have you come and take a peek at the shop anytime.
Right. How about if there's been a program in the past where you can take your bike and you can drop it off at the sheriff's office. Do you work with them at all on this at all?
Yep, when we originally started, we wanted to make sure that we reached out to anyone that we could possibly think of that would be able to either take bikes or help us with bikes or help get bikes to the people that need them.
Right.
And we did reach out to the Sheriff's Department because we knew that they had a program going and we wanted to kind of see what they were all up to and all that kind of good stuff. And we do work very closely with them. So if they have some extra bikes and we're in need, then we kind of trade back and forth. We do supply quite a few to the Sheriff's Department so that their group can work on them. And again, if they have some that are sitting and they're not able to work on right then sometimes we pull those in and get
Okay.
those out to the people that need them. We work quite a bit with a lot of the same organizations,
Right.
in different respects. So they definitely have a little bit different base as far as, bicycle donations. They have probably more drop-off locations, obviously,
Right.
than we do, and more access to that, but we do quite a bit with them. They've been wonderful to work with.
So if I'm a guy that's got this bike, I just want to give it away, I can go bring it directly to you, or I can bring it to Main Street,
Yep.
and you guys will then pick them up, bring them back,
Yep.
hopefully refurb them, make them rideable again.
Yep, we do have, so basically our process is the bikes come in, we evaluate them to see, where we're at with them, whether or not it's something that we can refurbish and get back out to someone in need. If for some reason it can't be, if there's a problem with the frame, if there's
Right.
other issues with the
Right.
bike that we know that we won't be able to do that, then we do recycle everything that we possibly can. We take the tires off. We do
Right.
recycle with Discount Tire and Tire Warehouse off of 24 there, and they help us out with that, so that our main goal is not to have everything end up back on the landfill. So
Right.
so
Right.
the tires get recycled. We do take any pieces or parts off that can be reused on another bike, and we have wonderful bins of different things, that
Right.
then we hold on to if we need something
Sure.
along the way. And then the metal we do recycle so that we can put a few dollars back into the two Holy Spokes.
Well, but now you've got these bikes, you brought in these bikes, now you need somebody to help to repair these things, I assume. You and your husband aren't doing this all by yourself, are you?
Okay, initially maybe, but don't
Yeah.
tell anyone that. Initially, yes, we did quite a bit of it ourselves. We did, start then, talking with more people that there
Right.
was an interest for some to come and work on the bikes. We had some people that wanted to come in that had, already mechanic skills. We had some that, wanted to just clean up the bikes or help us tear them down or
Right.
whatever we needed. And so over the year and a half or so, we do have a main mechanic, as well as my husband, who is, again, he works on most of the bikes along the way. But we do have probably, again, we have a shop assistant. Ken is our main mechanic, my husband. And then we do have about a half a dozen to a dozen people that come in fairly regularly.
Okay.
Throughout the week or throughout the months, and all that kind of good thing to help us repair the bikes or to tear them down and get them ready for recycle, or to help us with other things that we need,
Right.
movement of bikes, getting them to where they need to go, and all that
Okay.
kind of good stuff.
So if I'm a retired guy, I just retired, I've got a little mechanical aptitude, right? And I'm looking for something to do other than the honeydews around the house that my wife
Right.
has got me just to get away from home. They could come in and volunteer and help you to refurb these bikes.
For sure, yes.
Yeah.
We definitely can do that. We usually have you come in, and we have a short little form to fill out to volunteer with us. And
Right.
then, we're by appointment only, and especially in the wintertime, things are a little slower.
Sure.
So we kind of move around times and things.
Right.
And everybody has like their times that they like to come in. But yes, we could definitely use help in that area. Again, to do any type of the maintenance on the bikes, to
Right.
help tear down bikes, you name it, to help organize, that's
Right.
another thing that's always, trying to make sure everything gets in its proper place and that type of thing. So yes, we can always use help in that
Well,
area.
you guys are definitely a definite asset to the community. There's no question
Thank you,
about
George.
that. So
you.
let's assume now you've got these bikes all now repaired. They're all ready to go. Where do they go now? You.
So that
I
was a
assume-
challenge.
Yeah, right.
When we first started, I basically reached out to any organization that I could think of that we had either worked with before in one capacity or another, or helped volunteer with, or that type of
Right.
thing. And we said, this is what we're doing, this is what we'd like to do, these are the things we'd like to help with. So some of the big places that we reached out to were Grace Centers of Hope, Power Company Kids Club in Pontiac and in Detroit, House of Providence, Love Inc. Pretty much you name it. We tried to reach out to whoever we could think of, and we had a great response. Basically, we would say, you know, we do have this type of bike, or you know, we'd reach out, what kind of bikes are you in need of? For example, Grace Centers of Hope, we would check with them and say, you know, what kind of need do you have? And they would say, well, we need 5 women's bikes and 6 men's bikes. So we would do our best to get those types of bikes ready for, you know, the people that needed them. We also get phone calls from people locally that have lost their license or just need a ride to work, or you know, that type of thing, that say, you know, I'd really like to get a bike. And so the questions we ask them is, how tall are you? And what type of riding are you doing? And we try to get something that will best benefit them. And then we have our volunteers work on them and get them to them. And most people are able to come and get them. Some of the organizations come and get them, but some of them we deliver out to.
I know when I was a kid, I really wanted a bike, really, really bad. And you know, this was, believe it or not, during World War II. So we didn't have a lot of money. My father was kind of working a little bit, but we didn't make a lot of money. And I really wanted a bike. And my father finally said, you know what? I bought this $25 war bond during World War II. He says, I can cash that in for a new bike for you. And I said, no, but I really wanted the bike. So anyway, I came home one day and here's this bicycle. It was a used bike, but it was fantastic. I rode that thing till I was in college. But so if I don't have a lot of money, I've got some kids that are, you know, really want these bikes like I did when I was a kid. They could come to you directly, or they could come through one of these other organizations like Love Inc. And get a bike.
Yep, we have a lot of organizations that reach out to us, but we also have a lot of local people and from the surrounding areas that reach out, and we do work a lot with low income, disabled persons, special needs, veterans. My husband is a veteran, so of course, you know, he has a heart for that, but he has a heart for everything, in all fairness. So, you know, that type of thing. But you know, yes, anybody that is looking out, we do say, you know, we're 100% volunteer and 100% donation. So we say, if you can make a donation, do. But if you can't, or that becomes a hardship for you, then there is no donation necessary.
Take the bike.
So yes, and so most of the organizations that we work with, we're getting bikes ready and getting them out to the people that need them. We are kind of funded any which way but loose is kind of the thought process. There's really no specific funding. Again, we're all donation based, so we do have some people that donate on Facebook. We have some people that donate through our website. We have, you know, private people that donate directly, that type of thing. We also have a few grants here and there that come in. And everything goes into, again, you know, furthering, getting more bikes out to people and all that kind of good stuff.
So if I wanted to make a donation to you, what would be the best way to do it?
So there's not a best way. However, yeah, you can do it through our website at holyspokes.org. There is a donation spot there. And there's a monetary donation there, but there's also an Amazon Smile list, or an Amazon wish list, I guess I should say, or you can sign up through Amazon Smile. So if you were to make a purchase, then a portion of it could go to Holy Spokes. But so you could do that. If you're on Facebook, you can look that up at it's at holyspokes.org, and there's a way to donate through Facebook directly. Because we are a 501c3, all of the funds come directly to Holy Spokes. There's no fees. There's no, you know, nothing taken out. So that's been a wonderful, you know, thing also. And again, the wish list, we do have things on there that, okay, we're in need of grips for the bicycles, or chains, or tires, or, you know, you name it, whatever we're kind of looking at that point.
Well, you guys have also put together some rides, from what I understand, or have at least been part of some rides.
Yep, we've done
and one
a
of those
few.
is ONTV, by the way, ONTV sponsored.
Yep.
But there's another one that you've done that I think is fairly interesting. It's called the Ride of Silence. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, we do. We started in 2017. We met Judith Finneran, who is a local woman here, and her husband had been killed while riding his bicycle over by the GM plant. So some may have noticed the white bicycle by the GM plant.
The white bike,
That's
right.
called the ghost bike, and that serves in a memoriam of him, and just a reminder to pay attention and to not drive distracted and that type of thing. And the Ride of Silence is basically for those who have been killed or injured while riding their bike. And after we met her and discussed things a little bit with her, she said, I've been to these rides. So she kind of introduced us to that concept. Right. And she said, I've never had one for Ralph, her husband. And so my husband said, oh, we must do that. And so in 2017, we did a ride for her. And there was about 25 people that came, and we did the 7-mile loop here in Orion. And last year, they have an international day. It's on May 16th at 7 p.m. So last year, we had about 80 riders go out of Woodside Church, and we had 3 different routes and, donuts and all sorts of fun stuff also. But, we had a wonderful ride. The Sheriff's Department came, the Main Street Bicycles came, that type of thing. So we did have a nice group that came to commemorate, those who have been again killed or injured, and it's also an awareness thing. So that's an international thing that happens all over the world at that specific day on that specific time. So we are looking to have that again this year. We don't have anything finalized, but of course we'll have stuff on our website.
That's
on
interesting.
Facebook
I've been
also.
riding bikes all my life. I've never heard of the Ride of Silence.
Yes, and we hadn't either. So to be able to do that and to see what that means. Before our ride last year, a local person had been killed while riding his bike, and his group came that had been riding with him, riding with him. Yeah. And just to see what that means to people and how much that touches their heart, it really makes a big difference to us. So we're definitely going to keep on with that as we can.
So there's another event that ONTV was really a big part of, from what I understand, and that's the Ride the Oaks.
Actually, ONTV started that. They were really interested in doing that, and we kind of just hopped along. So yes, they invited us to be a part of that last year, and it was amazing. We had a wonderful time. It was back kind of like a scavenger hunt type of thing through Orion Oaks.
Right.
And so there was different stations of different things we had to do, like a beanbag toss or take a picture of a certain birdhouse or that type of thing, and to see who could get through it the quickest. So it was really fun. There was, I'm not sure how many people we had on that one. I want to say maybe 40 or 50.
Really?
I would say.
Wow.
So yeah, and there were some kids from the bike team, from the cycling team from Lake Orion, and so they were speedy. And
I'm sure they were. I'm sure they probably.
They were very speedy. Yes.
Outdid the adults. Probably done in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, and they had teams, so that was really cool. It was a really well put together ride. I think everyone had a really good time, and it sounds like they'll be wanting to do that again, and we'll definitely be around to do that.
Well, I just talked to Ian here before our show today, and he's definitely wants to do it next year again.
Well, we'll definitely be on board, and we hope everyone comes, because it was a lot of fun, and there were all different capabilities for that.
Right.
There, you don't have to rush. It's back in the woods. You can rush, of course, because there's always going to be the ones that'll rush. But
if you're 18 years old, you're going to rush, right?
Right. Yes. And so it's great to be outside, and it's great to be in to see what beautiful parks we have. And so that was something that I would definitely recommend people come out and do. Yeah.
So now that we're almost wrapped up here, what would you like to say to the community in terms of Holy Spokes, what it means to the community, and what you think people can do to help?
Well, I guess my biggest thing, George, would be say thank you, because we've really had no obstacles. The township, the Sheriff's Department, ONTV, the bike shops, the tire shops to help us recycle things. And I'm probably forgetting, of course, our volunteers. Please don't forget our volunteers.
Right.
But everyone has come together so nicely, and it's been such a positive thing. There's been nothing negative. Everyone's happy, and that was what we were looking for, is to make it something that was easy and that could benefit people, but not be a hard thing to do. We wanted it to be an easy thing for people to be able to do. For the future, I don't know. We've kind of gone back and forth a few things about that. Someday it would be amazing to, have a vehicle to be able to transport things here and there, or to
Right.
have different functions. It would be, it'd be nice to have a little more accessible building to be able to get our volunteers in and out of.
Right.
But honestly, for right now, I mean, we're pretty happy with all that. As far as what we could use, we can always use volunteers. It's a little difficult for us to bring in kid volunteers because we don't always have enough adult volunteers.
Right.
But of course, we do have some of the kids that come in from to get service hours and things too. So, we can always use donations. We can always use to put back in. And again, we've been able to run super lean and to make things work because that's how we want it to be is easy and to move along smooth. And really just to keep working with everybody and getting to meet people and having fun, I guess. That's what we're hoping for, is to keep having fun.
Well, you're definitely an asset to the community. There's no question about that.
Well, thank you, George.
And we see you guys at the Baldwin Cafe all the time.
Oh, yes. We could give them a little bit of a shout out because, yes, we do go there quite often, don't we?
So everybody there is, by the way, wears their Holy Spoke shirts.
Yes,
which is great advertising.
Everyone has lots of questions there, so that's good.
Guys.
It is. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yes, we all of the people that support us, really, truly, I can't say enough because, like I said, everything's been so positive and everyone's always so happy to talk about things and nothing negative. We have enough negatives in the whole rest of the world, so we'll just keep everything positive on our end if we can.
Perfect. Well, we're going to actually put up a little sign or a little background on the video as to where people can send their donations to.
Sure. Okay.
Hopefully we can get a few donations to come in.
Cool.
We're also going to promote this video with ONTV.
Okay.
And we'll give you a copy for yourself that you can put on your own YouTube.
Sure.
And maybe put a link to it on your website.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
we'll do that for sure.
First of all, we want to thank you for coming in today. It's been fantastic.
Thank you,
You're
George. I
great.
really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, this is fun.
It is.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today on Active Living. We hope to see you the next time. Bye now.